Welcome, beloved mighty companions, to this holy circle of light. Welcome to the miracle of love. The miracle of true identity, and how precious it is to be with mighty so devoted to one function, which is the celebration of infinite light. To forget that even we ever had a thought. That's a good kind of amnesia to have. Not remembering that thoughts are even real. You can't even find one. The thoughts go MIA. I forgot, Teresa being in New Zealand, she might not know what MIA is. There's missing in action, could not be found. I remember someone wrote me, this was years ago, and they typed me something LOL, and I didn't know what laugh out loud, hadn't a clue what that was. I didn't want to communicate with them anymore because I didn't know what that was. What LOL was. So we're using all these kind of terms. Oh, they're just for fun. We're playing. We're just playing. And looking with Jesus playfully. Yes. Oh, so much love in that. Playfully. He's playful. It's like a nice invitation. Until we treat Jesus like he's behind the fence of death. I'm not going through that gate. No. It's just really a symbol of how we feel about ourselves. We don't want to approach who we really are. No, I want this to be real. I was with Jesus, like looking at the desire not to have a forgiven world. Just seeing all that. No, anything but a forgiven world, Jesus. No. And just being with the energy and let that dissipate. And just seeing, he's so right. We don't want a forgiven world. What would I do if I had a forgiven world? I mean, happiness isn't enough, is it? Gotta be totally happy. Yeah, we need that relationship with him to really go to those places where we don't want to go. Which the I equals death doesn't want to go. The light doesn't have a problem going anywhere. It's just here. I don't want to be the light right in the middle of the light. Our hands on the light switch going, I don't want the light. Like we could turn it off. And then we see that we've just been wearing dark glasses and the room's been lit the whole time. So we just keep going. Show me Jesus. Where I don't want to be nobody. Light, pure, infinite happiness. So we're looking at the body, a body identification around the belief that the salvation lies in the body. We can just marinate on that. Can we? Yes. Jesus, show me the desire for the experience that salvation lies in a body. How much I want that experience. Is there any more energy around that? There is. I'm willing to see it and ask for a miracle. How much consciousness likes to play as a body. Like there's no one doing it, just a play. But as long as we think someone's doing it, it comes with a ton of smack and guilt. And he's going to talk about down here, because you desire an experience of attempting to find salvation through a body, which we'll be honest about and ask him, Jesus, is there a desire, still a desire, yes, to find salvation through a body? Ask for a miracle. Big fat miracle on that one. It can never be free as long as we believe there's any kind of those little itches for body experiences. That's like being bound in that shoebox, wanting to stuff ourselves in a shoebox rather than seeking in the light of truth, rather than seeing in the light of truth. This is impossible. Can salvation be found through a body? Let's ask the light of infinite being. It's hilarious. Can we find that? We have a new satsang dog. It's like with Muji, they had a satsang dog that would go in there. Like Lakshmi the cow. Mac Lakshmi the cow would go in and sit in Ramana Maharshi's room with him when he had satsang and just sitting there. And it was such a good symbol. It's so humbling when Ramana said that cow's enlightened. Because it's helpful for the whole. And, I realized my squirrel was more enlightened. My pet squirrel, so I put Willie, a little video out of Willie. This Willie is just Willie, the squirrel. Willie is a female, but doesn't worry about her name being Willie. She didn't have like an argument. Oh my God, somebody gave me the wrong name. Willie just would come for nuts. That's it. Eat the nuts, be happy, be playful, and then, that's it. That big old hawk big old hawk came swooping down, and I'm like, oh, my little Willie, He was sitting there, and she goes boing into the tree, and like, oh, Willie, and like, it couldn't have been more than 3 minutes later. Where's Willie sitting on the platform eating? Like, Willie's not getting Willie wasn't looking for another squirrel to tell the other squirrel how bad things are. To tell another squirrel to tell a story about, look, my hawk was bigger than your hawk. We love that story. They're not telling stories. I love that little picture. Maybe I'll try to find it on the internet. It's so good. One of the non-duality teachers had it. He put it up he's having a presentation. He flashes this picture up on the board. Okay. And it was this guy walking in the sunset. It's a little stick figure, right? Guy and his little dog. They're walking in the sunset, and then they have the little bubble bullets. You see, everybody's seen this one. And the guy has all these thoughts going through his mind in the bubble, and the dog just has the picture of what they're seeing. Doesn't add any extra to it, but no, we're gonna go in there and like paint with extra all the story about what's happening, and the dog's like fully present. It was like my niece, I told that story so many times, but it's for me, just a reminder of the simplicity. When she saw the light and she goes, oh, all's forgiven. It's like, what if it just seemed easy? It's all forgiven already. And the light of divine being, is it all so easy? Yeah. No, it's just consciousness plays. We're not even there's no we, there's consciousness, the totality playing as though it can be slapped around by itself. That's what's happening. We can ask Jesus. He goes, yep. So rather than seeing the light of truth, this is impossible. Let's just see real directly. That feels good. Jesus, can salvation be found through a body? We can't be reminded enough of this. Just see, no. Rather than seeing the light of truth, this is in the light of truth. This is impossible. We have to just keep looking. That's why we stay with the light. When you're talking to him, he'll tell you, stay with the light, me, as the symbol of the light in your mind. Stay with me, light, 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 light. Because we like the dabble in darkness. To dabble in darkness. Forgiveness is undoing the idea that salvation comes through a body. Let's ask. Yes. We can all see these things are true. Everything he says. Put it to the light test. We take it to the light. Is forgiveness undoing the idea that salvation comes from a body? We think we have to be guilty for having a body. Jesus, is there any guilt remaining for having a body? Just check in. Okay, will you work with me to help me wash that out of my desire system? And he goes, yes. Oh, so much love in that. See, you just get a little love. Little love cuddle. Miracles. Miracles are like heaven. Can I say that? He says, yes. Little love tattoos all over. He's good with it. You believe that peace would dispossess you of guilt and leave you homeless. Let's look at that one. Is there any belief below our level of awareness that peace would dispossess guilt? Oh, listen to that. Yeah. Okay. So just put that thought. So here's how we handle beliefs in the light circles. Any belief, it doesn't matter. This is the speed of the correction. Any belief that arises, start with light. And just take that belief like this and put it in the light. Let's see. You believe peace would dispossess you of guilt. If he says, Jesus, is that belief there? And he goes, yes. And you just take that little belief and just put it right in the light and see how long it lasts. Is it true in the light? Can peace dispossess me of guilt and leave me homeless? See in the light. Peace, is the light and peace the same thing? Is peace going to dispossess anything? Does peace leave us homeless? We have to look at this really directly, because those desires for experience below the level of awareness dance with the devil. Thus, you desire an experience of finding a home in guilt. Jesus, is there any home in guilt left? Do I want to tuck myself into a little bed of guilt? Show me that desire for that experience. He's saying, see, when you're willing to be with me at desire, you will not feel guilt, because guilt is after the split. Desire is like the urge to miscreate. See, he's teaching us how to really be present with that energy. I want to miscreate, rather than up here. Once you miscreated, then we feel like we did something bad and going to hell and all that stuff. So he's saying, stay with the desire, the wanting of it, before all the miscreation kerfuffle story blooms out and seems really real. Stay with the desire for the experience. He keeps reminding. And let him direct. Okay, do I look at this desire or this desire? It takes focus, because again, because of the play in consciousness, not wanting to look. And you'll see that, you'll be talking to Jesus and he'll show you something profound, and then you're thinking about your next vacation. Because he says, because of mind wandering. We don't want to look so directly to see that we are eternal beings. We want to plan a vacation in the future. We swear we hear that ice cream truck.
smell pizza.
Pizza, she's saying pizza, oh, I gotta have it. That's why we just really have to keep asking Jesus, am I running from something? When you feel like running, realize that's just not arising now. That's been arising our whole life, the whole play in consciousness, all the seeming timeline. And what we usually do is we look for a new location. So all we do by moving location is delay looking. Particularly can come up here at the center. Because we ask for it, we ask to be shown. It's very deep looking. So just remember that whenever you want to run, it's like, oh, I want to run, I want to move, I want to go somewhere, I gotta get out of here, that's prime looking territory. It's prime. It's like hold into it with Jesus. Staple your feet to the floor and look. It will be very robust. Salvation is of the mind, the dissolution of the idea of a body. That's what S in the life divine being, honesty of God, is forgiveness, the dissolution of the idea of a body. That's the whole purpose. That body identification, that the body is real, and therefore the world is real. So as the body starts disappearing, and well, that's not an that's going to sound, it's just the focus that the body is the main gig, and just starting to notice how we put every bit of energy in that body. What can I get that body? When am I going to eat? What, just it's a nonstop song of got to take care of a body. Let's ask if that's true in the light of divine being. Do we need to do anything to take care of the body in truth and honesty of God? And he says it, Sermon on the Mount, to have no concern about the clothes that you wear. Do the birds of the air worry? Solomon in all his glory cannot be as decked out as a lily of the field. We want to deck out that body. Jesus, is there any deck out left? Any desire to like deck out? Because see what it's for. Remember, he says, look at what everything's for. It's not as he doesn't have a problem. You can wear those high heels. Those things are miserable, or whatever, pearls, and it's not. It can be given. He's not trying to take all that away. He's just saying, notice with me the wanting in it, the wanting to prove something, the whole idea of looking good, that whole thing. The attraction, wanting to see how much of the energy goes around attracting or repelling other bodies. Like, oh my gosh, that's death on a
Death on a stick.
Yeah, okay, she said it. I wasn't gonna say death on a stick, but it is death on a stick. It really is. Okay. We really have to start laughing at this, because if we keep living in this Greek tragedy, it's just not going to work. It doesn't work. Okay. Okay, so peace is dispossessing us. You desire an experience of finding home and guilt and the feeling of homelessness. Boy, this is a big one. Let's look at the desire for the experience of feeling homeless. Like we can never feel at home. Master G's, he's starting to talk to me about how much time is spent on trying to feel like we have a home. I don't have a home, so I have to buy a house. And then I have to decorate. It's got to have the right furniture. It's all the if then, and then I'll be happy, rather than saying you are home. You are home. You're home itself, the totality of what is. And I love that about Muji. He just kept saying that to me. You're home. You're home. You're home. I don't know how he knew that. Because he'd always, every time I see him, he'd whisper in my ear, you're home. We are home. We've been tagged. We're the totality of all that is. This is the totality. That as long as we believe that home rests in let's say ask Jesus, there a desire for an experience that our home is actually a box that's around us. The body leaves us homeless. The body lets us feel like we're homeless. Ask Jesus. That's what he's saying. He's saying see how true that is in the light of divine being. It's the body that makes us feel like we're homeless. It's a desire for experience of homelessness. Thus you desire an experience of finding a home in guilt and feeling of homelessness in order to avoid peace that is your home. Is guilt a desired experience to avoid peace? And hear the answer. Is fear a desire to avoid peace? Yeah, he's just saying we know this, it's just all avoidance of seeing a forgiven world. Like, it's just that feeling when I was talking, it's like, I'll do anything to avoid a forgiven world. That's the I's function. I'll do anything. The desire for experience to do anything to avoid a forgiven world's right here, right now. Is there any energy around that, Jesus? Willing to look. Show it to me. So much love in that. You believe the world is outside of you and has you in its mercy. This is such a good one to look at. You desire an experience of the world outside of you having you at its mercy. We really, really, really need beings with us that are uncompromising. I'm seeing that. Because we so want to compromise who we are by pretending like we're small and we're weak. And that we're at the mercy of the world. We really need each other to show us each other that we are not at the mercy of the world. We are supreme, infinite being. That's what's here. Let's just see in the light so we can be really clear. Does anything of this world hold any dominion over light? Jesus, show me the desire for the experience to put the light, to make it seem like the light's at the mercy of the world. Can that be true? That the infinite light is at the mercy of this world. Can that possibly be true in the light of divine being? Just show me that there's a desire for it then. Because if we're not at perfect peace, that's what we feel. If we don't feel at home all the time, home is the light. The light's home. Ask the light. Is the light home? The light's all there is. It's the only home there is. Thus, you desire an experience of the world outside of you, trying to push the world outside so that there's an other having us at its mercy. It's like the otherness. We're at the mercy of otherness. Mm. You do not believe that the answer of your true identity is already given. Jesus, is there any desire to have a belief an experience where the answer is not already given? Do I want an experience and just go, no, it's not given yet? When you say you're not ready, that's for sure. That's a desired experience. You're not ready to hear my voice. You want to deny that the answer's already given. See, because Jesus only gives us one answer. Infinite. There is only one answer, infinite. Because of the display in consciousness, it may seem like but it's all pointing back to infinite. You're an infinite being. I'm giving you assignments that are of infinity or of God. So we don't invest in the assignments or of death. Is there any desire below my level of awareness not to accept the answers already given? You believe that if you look inward, your eyes will light on sin and God will strike you blind. Now, when you read that, you would think, oh, that's insane. I would never think that. And then you can be sure that you do. That's what Jesus says. You can be sure that you do. If you look on that and go, oh, there's no way, then just be sure. You can be 100% certain, he's saying. Okay. Thus you desire an experience of feeling that if you look inward, you will find sin and God will strike you blind. That's a really good one to look at, because that's such a defense against looking to see nothing's there. Yet if that plays below the level of consciousness, it's a good one to clear with Jesus, spend a lot of time on. That belief that God will strike us blind if we look. That's a desire to keep the ego in play and not look, and to see that there's nothing that has any control over the light, the holiness that we are. You believe you have secrets, thus, just checking in with Jesus now, see if there's anything else on that other one. You believe you have secrets, thus you desire an experience of keeping secrets. And secrets make you feel apart from God. Secrets being desires or secrets. Asking Jesus that. We think secrets, well, I didn't tell so-and-so that I took a quarter out of their wallet. Secrets are denial of divinity. Keeping the untrue hidden from ourselves. Keeping parts of ourselves secret from ourselves. That's why we need to have Jesus go in there and show us where all the secrets are, because we buried them so deep. But in innocence, he'll show them to us. You use secrets to hide from yourself your inheritance, thus to deny yourself your daily bread. Jesus, is there anywhere that I'm using secrets to deny myself my daily bread, which is supreme happiness? Ask the light. Is daily bread supreme happiness? You're the light. Yes. Infinite happiness? Secrets are desired experience to attempt to hide from yourself as you are always one with God. Let's just ask Jesus, am I keeping any secrets to try to hide from myself? Oh, he says, yes. Okay. We just admit it. Okay, I do. Show him. Can we show him to me? And just hear you say, yes. What do I need to see? So just admit that secrets are impossible. You're just keeping them from yourself. They're just an idea to perpetuate the idea of a dream. This is a desire not to know yourself as you are, whole and complete. These are not the same as secrets of this world. This is the secret of hiding true identity from yourself by denying guilt. It is a denying that you are denying the light of being. That's what a secret is. The denial of the denying of the light of divine being. I like that definition. You believe in conflict and that the ego has the power to be victorious. Is there any desire below my level of awareness for the ego to feel like it has more power than I do? So consciousness wants to play in the currency that the ego has more power than a divine being. That's what it wants to play. It insists on it. It demands it. I demand that I am subject to whatever the whims of the ego are. That's why Jesus says this just need not be. You're an infinite, powerful, divine being. You desire an experience of conflict and feeling that the ego has the power to be victorious. That's a really good one. When those thoughts come up like, when am I ever going to wake up? That right there is exactly that. Yes, I'm asking Jesus. Yes. Thus you desire an experience of conflict and feeling that the ego has the power to be victorious. See, I'm never going to wake up. That's giving all the power to the ego. That's the play. When's it going to happen for me? Thus, you desire an experience of conflict and feeling the ego has the power to be victorious. I'm never going to wake up. Thus, that's the play. The play is ask Jesus. Is that part of the play? Is there anywhere below my level of awareness where I'm miscreating the experience that the ego has more powerful than infinite light? Okay, show me. And then you just look and release the energy. Okay, so here we go. One more on the body. Today must be body day, but it's all body day. You believe the body is weak. Thus, you desire an experience of weakness in the body. It's not only weakness related to illness, it's a weakness whenever the spirit asks you to do something and you go, well, I can't do it because of this physical ailment. I can't do it because, no, it's not that you can't, it's because you won't. You've already chosen not to. Not to express divine love. So the way consciousness works is it comes up with a stack of reasons why it can't follow the Holy Spirit. I can't because whatever this is. And sometimes you just have to, I'm asking him, he's saying, yes, sometimes you just have to say no to all that noise. It was really beautiful. We had an example that somebody here, she was getting all kinds of pain and all that sort of stuff. And we were going to go somewhere and then we joined and she just said, no, I'm not going to buy into all that pain. I'm just going to ignore, just do what I'm being asked to do. That's what we have to do to stand into it and not be subject to our own delusions. You believe if the body collapses, you will be saved. Is there any desire for an experience of the body collapsing and to feel saved? There's such a strong belief we won't be helped. There's such a strong desire for not to be helped, or the belief that we won't be helped when we really don't want to be helped. And then we pretend like no one's going to help us at the same time. That's a illness play that plays a lot in illness and sickness, because it's a flip that illness actually wins love. That's the salvation he talks about. Being ill or sick in the body wins love. So we can just look at that desire with them for that experience if it appears. Yet it's such a powerful means to transcend personal identity. That direct looking, really just looking right in there with Jesus and go for the gusto of looking at Jesus at all pain and illness. It's so powerful, because then you're not beholden, we're not, you just feel how it's everyone can relate this, I'm sure. Having something happen and you just feel like you're hostage. Like, whatever it would be. Like one time I had my knee operated on, or even when you're having this really bad headache or something, and you just feel held hostage. And so once we see through it, that it's a desire to feel hostage, that something outside of us has more power over us. Oh man, that is straight up. That's straight up. Then we're not tricked anymore by the delusion. You believe that if the body collapses, you'll be saved. Therefore, if there's any desire for the body to collapse, it's going to show up. But it's a false attempt to win love. You believe that if the body experiences illness, you will be saved. Thus you desire and experience the body being ill. Boy, I really kept looking at this with Jesus. Jesus, I'm looking again. Is there any desire for the body to be ill to prove separation anymore? It's a really good one to look at. Oh, this is so good. He writes, you believe that if the body experiences illness, you'll be saved. Thus you desire an experience of the body being ill and collapsing to be saved, and therefore make you safe from your divine power. Coming up with all the reasons why we can't be divine, infinite happiness right now. Giving the world, miscreating a world, and then giving it all the power over us. Feeling the body sick gives you pleasure. Okay, Jesus, is there any more pleasure and a sense of power to deny God? It's really so powerful and so cool. Who would say this? But it is. It really is, because it's honesty of God. When you catch it, like you're really sick or something, and I've said this about looking at them at the most splitting, ripping headache. But when you catch it, you catch how much you want it, and there's pleasure in it. He takes you to that point of really wanting and seeing that, pleasure in it. It's like, that's the skids. That's the gateway. So ask him, Jesus, is there a desire to feel the body sick? And you don't have to necessarily have symptoms in the body right now to ask him, because he can show us whatever's in the subconscious mind. Or you might not be feeling well. We all have those kind of body things because we believe we're bodies, but we can look. Is there any desire for experience of pleasure through sickness? Okay, that's there. I got a yes even on, so I'll look at that. Okay, show me that desire, that wanting pleasure through sickness. He says, really stay with me on that one, because the body's going to Because the mind, the ego is going to start throwing up all kinds of fear when you start trying to look at that. Don't believe it. Just stay with him and just look anyway. Stay with him. Look deep. You're going to be so ridiculously happy when that releases. Because there's so much energy, so much withholding of love in that, you know? It's like a big knot withholding love from ourselves. And a sense of power to deny God, guilty pleasure, and look closely, see you desire the experience of guilty pleasure in the body. That's good. Let's look at guilty pleasure. Jesus, is there a desire for an experience of guilty pleasure in the body? Then you could just yawn that guilty pleasure out. Desire for that guilt, that wanting the pleasure of it. Even when it's pain, it's guilty pleasure. We have to really look to see that. How much we want it. Oh, we want it. This is an attempt to falsely join with yourself through the body by making the body real. Just ask the light that. Is illness an attempt to falsely join with ourselves? Oh, yes, I can hear it. Yep. Through a body by making the body real. So instead of joining with God, we join with the ego. See, we join with the body thoughts. We join with the body, which to make the body feel like our home instead of the light. The body merely expresses what you believe. You have a desire to express the effects of your beliefs through the body. That's a good one to look at. Jesus, is there any desire to experience the effects of my beliefs through the body? It's amazing how many yeses you get. When he's right, he's right. Just go, yes, okay, I admit it. Okay, can I get a miracle? Yes. Can I have a miracle on that? That desire to experience effects of beliefs through a body? No corrections can work unless we accept them. And I'm so grateful for Jesus's surgical precision with these things to extract that personal identity out of our subconscious mind. So we know exactly where to head right on in there with them to admit he's right and release it for a miracle. So I'm really grateful. I have a growing appreciation for this text all the time, because it just really gets you right, gets me. It's for me right to where I need to look with him and release all this. If there's any tidbits left. He said, he's so humbling. He goes, every tidbit is a boulder. Even what you think is because the ego would make it, oh, that's not so much. It's a boulder. It's a big, heavy boulder in the asteroid belt. So thank you for clearing this, Jesus. Love you. Love you, brothers. Amen. Happy hologram. There's the rest of the hologram there.